Hi everyone, welcome to Flicks Talk. I'm Nia, and today I'm going to talk about movie remakes, reboots, whatever you want to call it. I think that what Hollywood needs to do is stop with the remakes. There's a lot of bad ones out there, and that is what I'm talking about on this part. Because with this topic, I have to make it into two parts. So this part are the mistakes, the remakes that should have never been done. The next one, part 2, will be the good ones. There are some remakes that are actually good, but we're talking about today the ones that should have never been done. They should have just left it alone. Some of them. Just, why touch them? Because I know there's probably a big warehouse somewhere in LA full of shelved scripts that they could read and see if they can make them. So I think, because a movie did good the first time around, doesn't mean it's going to do good the second time around. That's already been a proven fact. So I don't know why they keep making all these remakes. There are over 130 remakes in the making. Why? Can they not be original anymore? There's no more original stories out there they can kind of do, whatever. Anyway, I could go on ranting, but I won't. Because some of these remakes are really, really? Because they're remaking this. They're remaking that. They're remaking this. They're remaking that. And I just like, okay. Oh, they're remaking that one. Okay. It's just like another day. Like another remake. 130. Over 130 in the making. Good grief. Okay. I didn't even look at that list. I don't even want to look at that list. Not right now. That's probably another show. So let's get started. I got some props, some little visual aids, but other than that, it's just me talking. Anyway, so the remakes that to me should not have been remade. You got the 2005 versus the 1979 Amityville Horror. Which do you prefer? See, this is the book. I haven't read the book. But, I've seen both movies, and I prefer the original, the 1979. I don't know if it's just the way it was made or what. But the 2005 one is just... The best thing in that one is that it has Ryan Reynolds, and he's shirtless, and he's a hottie. But other than that, even the house didn't look the same. At least in the 79 one, is like you take a look at the original house, the real house, and in the movie house, and it's the same thing. The house in the 2005 one is not the same house. It's totally different. So, I prefer the 79 one versus the 2005 one. The day the Earth stood still. Got the 2008 and the 1951. It's one of my dad's favorite films. I have seen both of them. I prefer the old one, the original, the 51. I like Keanu Reeves, and I like Jennifer Connelly, who I think was in that one. Yes, but I prefer the original. Sometimes just the original is so much better than remakes. I liked. What's his name? My dad would know his name. The alien dude, the tall suit. Anyway, I just prefer the original on that one. And they were kind of smart. The marketing people, I guess. They when they put out the 2008 one, they also with that one you also get the original. So that way you can have both of them in like one set. That way it would boost the sales up for the 2008 one. It's like, oh, that's smart. I see what they did there. Anyway, how about the 2005 versus the 1980, The Fog? I prefer the 1980 Fog. I was watching the 2005 one, and like 30 minutes later, I lost interest in it. I only watched the first 30 minutes, and I was just off to something else. I mean, I kept the movie running, maybe see if I would get back into it. I never did. I mean, I like Tom Welling from Smallville, but I just couldn't get into that movie. I'm just so used to the Jamie Lee Curtis, even her mother Janet Leigh was in that one. Some people from the Halloween movies were in it, so it's just I just prefer the original John Carpenter one. I think it's better. 2005, 1953, House of Wax. I just rewatched the remake not that long ago, I think a few weeks ago. And I still don't like it. It just, it's Vincent Price. Why remake some Vincent Price movies? Some of them are just better left alone. And that one was one of them. Or they could have just done a better job at the remake. I mean, for one thing, Paris Hilton's in the movie. And just, I don't want her to come after me. It's my opinion. So, I prefer the original. I own the original. And even have, it's like the intermission is 3D, because there's a little ball and the paddle, doof, 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 coming right at you. And that's what I kind of wish I had, a 3D TV, and that movie was actually in 3D. It would have been good. But I noticed right off the bat, oh, that must have been a 3D shot. Because all of a sudden you have this ball coming to your face, but it's not really coming to you. Ooh, how about 2010, 1984, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Why? I like Jackie Earle Haley. I really do. But Freddy Krueger? Robert Englund. I'm sorry. The 1984 one scared the crap out of me. I couldn't hardly sleep after I saw that movie. The 2010 didn't do anything to me. Woohoo! Maybe it's because I'm older and things don't faze me much anymore, but it's just, I don't know what it is with the 80s and 70s movies. It's just, maybe just the way they were made, just the feel that they have. They're kind of creepy, scary. Maybe it's because they're actually on film versus today where it's all digital, so that could probably have part of it too. But if I remember correctly, the remake doesn't have Johnny Depp death scene, sucked down the bed and whoosh. Let's just move on. I think they're trying to redo Nightmare on Elm Street. Whatever. Next. 2006 versus the 1976 Yeoman. Guess one. Which one do you think I prefer? The best thing I think from the remake is that it came out on June 6th, 2006. So 6606. I almost saw that movie on that day, but I chose not to. But I did see it in the theater, just like I saw House of Wax and A Nightmare on Elm Street and Amityville Horror in the theater. Anyway, saw a lot of these remakes in the theater. Anyway, yeah, there's just like the boy in the original. He is just freaky. Okay, freaky. The part where you can watch this scene on YouTube. but the part where they're going to church and just his expression looking out, you know, he's facing forward, looking forward in the car, and he's seeing where they're going, and just that look. I don't know what Richard Donner told him or how he directed him, but that scene right there gives me shivers, and I'm getting shivers right now even talking about it. It's just his expression, and he looks back over at, you know, at the mom, and he sits back, you know, against her, and it's just that scene is freaky. Look it up on YouTube. I sometimes just watch that part just to watch it, because that boy, I don't know, versus the boy in the remake, he was a little bit freaky looking too. And he actually may grow up. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, yeah, I just prefer this one. I prefer this one. I'll be good. How about, here's the newest one on my list, 2015 versus the 1982 Poltergeist. They both had cute girls, okay, but Heather O'Rourke, way cuter than the other girl, okay. Plus, in the remake, they didn't have Zelda Rubinstein, whatever. They didn't have little Zelda to cleanse the house. The house is clean. They didn't have her. Anyway, I'm such a big fan of the original that I was very critical going into the movie when I saw it in the theater. So I kind of didn't. I try to go in with open mind. It just wasn't open enough. I prefer the original. The 82, the Joe Beth Williams, Craig T. Nelson, it's so much better. Sorry. I prefer the 1982. It's just the remake, and just someone else can have it. Just prefer 82. 1982. Okay. To me, the next one is the biggest mistake, the biggest why did they go there? Why did they remake it? Why did they do this? This is the biggest why. Picture that three-letter word why, capital letters. Ding, flashing, why? 1998 versus the 1960 Psycho. Rule number 1, you don't touch Alfred Hitchcock films. Rule number 2, you must first learn rule number 1. Why? I mean, the only good thing I can actually say about the remake is that Gus Van Sant, it was shot for shot. The 98 and 60, you can watch the 98 one and you can watch the 61 side by side, and it's like watching the same movie. He filmed it shot for shot. That's about the only good thing in it. They did update the dialogue a little bit. They rose the amount that she took from 40 grand to 400 grand. I accept that. They updated. That's fine. I didn't mind that. No big deal. Trying to keep this a little bit child friendly. So I'm not going to say exactly what he was doing, but I'm going to tell you what he was doing without actually saying it. The part where Norman Bates is looking through a little peephole, watching Marion Crane undress and get in the shower. In the remake, in the original, they're the same. But in the remake, he was doing a little bit extra with his hands, if you know what I'm saying. So, Vince Vaughn was. So, but other than that, that's about the major differences in the movie. I know Janet Leigh was asked to make a cameo in the film, and she said no. Instead, she decided to co-star with her daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis, in Halloween H2O. There's like at least 4 Psycho references in that movie. One is being her, and two is the car that she drove in Psycho, in the movie. The other two I know is dialogue for sure. So I don't know why there's so many Psycho references in H2O, but there was. Maybe because it came out the same year, 98. Yeah. Anyway. It's just, you know, they remade, I think they're remaking The Birds. They already remade Rear Window, which I will talk about in the good ones, because I actually think the TV remake of Rear Window was actually good. I'll get to that one in part 2. But, Psycho, of all Alfred Hitchcock films, why Psycho? That movie should be, like, outlawed to ever be redone, but it's already too late, because it has already been redone. Let's not redo it again, because that one was a mistake. When I want to watch Psycho, this is the one I watch. This one, 1960. Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh. Come on now. This is the best one right here. Right here. Lord have mercy. Please. Not too much to say on the next one. The 2012 versus 1984 Red Dawn. Obviously, I prefer the original. Some remakes really totally screw up the storyline, where it's like the same title but totally different movie. I know they changed from this one dealing with the Russians versus the remake dealing with some, I don't know who they were dealing with, because I only saw it once. You know, I like Chris Hemsworth, I think he was in it, and some of the other people maybe. But I prefer this one. So that's pretty much all. I just prefer, you know, I think they were both the Wolverines, but I just prefer this one. So that's all I have to say on that one. 2014 versus the 1987 Robocop. Robocop. Okay. What I like about the remake is the suit. It's black, and looks like it's fit. You know, it was made to fit the actor, versus the original, where it's all big and bulky and really kind of looks like it was hard to walk in. Something I didn't like about the remake is they got like a nobody playing Murphy. I didn't really know the guy that played Murphy in the original when I watched it, but I mean, he's been in other stuff. I didn't even hear of the guy that played in the remake. So, I still don't know his name. I have to look it up. I mean, okay. I think Peter Sellers played Murphy. Or was that someone else? Got me confused on that one. I don't think I own Robocop. But I like it. Anyway, I just prefer the original. So, and Jackie Earle Haley is also in that one, and he actually is. He makes the remake watchable. So, because he's like the comic relief. Some of his lines were like, oh, that's good. You know, other than that, forget it. 2009 versus 1987, The Stepfather. Terry O'Quinn, way scarier than, Dylan Walsh? So, that's all I really want to say about that one. I just prefer the original. 2004 versus 1975, Stepford Wives. You know, I like Faith Hill and Nicole Kidman and everything, but it's just the way that the 75 one was filmed and the way it looked and felt, or the feeling it kind of gave you, kind of made it just kind of, you know, or it's just, you know. You know, all these are horror films just about, or action. I just realized this. But, yeah, just the original. I think I've only seen the original once, but in the remake once, and I was watching the remake after I watched the original, and I preferred the original. Just 75. I don't know. It's maybe kind of made it more real in 75 versus the 2004. So, you know, And then the last one, 2012 versus 1990 Total Recall. Well, you got Colin Farrell in the remake, and you got Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1990. Which one do you think I prefer? They didn't even go to Mars in the remake. It's just, I actually recite lines from the original. So, and there's just parts that I remember specifically in Arnold Schwarzenegger one. So, why make some of these remakes? Some of these just, I can kind of get the day the Earth stood still. 51, 2008 is like 50 years passed by, almost 60. So I get that, but some of them, why? Like, not enough time has passed by before they make a remake, to me. But, and House of Wax. 53, 05, I get that. Over 50 years, fine. Still wasn't good. But, yeah, Total Recall, that's, it's 1990 Arnold Schwarzenegger all the way. Ta-ding! That is it for the remakes that I think that were big mistakes. There are some other ones that I think that shouldn't have been made, but those right here are like the biggest ones. So there. So part 2 is coming up next, or soon, and that is going to be the remakes that I actually like, and actually kind of almost prefer the remakes versus the original. Oh my goodness. But I do challenge Hollywood, if they ever see this, there is one remake I know you guys can make, and you can make it better. Or you can make a movie, you can make a remake, and you can make it better than the original. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, it's a 60s movie. And it's a laughable movie when I first saw it. And I didn't even pay attention to the first half. But when I actually did start paying attention, I was like, what on earth am I watching? And why is he fighting the creature with a plunger in the ocean? Makes it so funny. The creature from the haunted sea. If they remade it, I sure as heck had no what it was called. But when I saw that guy swimming with a plunger, and he was gonna, and the creature had a beehive hairdo. 60s, dude, they can remake that and make it tons better than the original. Creature from the haunted sea. Laughable. Yeah, and the thing is, sad thing is I own it, but because it came in a set, so when you know what, if I ever decide to drink again, I'm gonna put that in. But I may actually enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch part 2 of Remakes. Anyway, bye.